Good morning. It's Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Ronan made cinnamon rolls this morning. He got up extra early. He made cinnamon rolls from the sourdough starter. Well, he started making the dough last night, and it like rose in the fridge overnight, and then he got up at like 5 a.m. to finish it. So when I get up at 6, the house smelled amazing. Cinnamon rolls. I was like, this is so good. It's so good. Oh, it makes it so hard to like, in the last year, I've gained like 6 pounds. And I don't know how much of it's muscle and how much of it is fat, but I'm definitely not. I'm struggling to try to get on a calorie deficit so I can drop weight, but my boys cook such amazing food that I'm kind of like not successful at it right now. You know what? Cinnamon rolls for breakfast was really nice, especially fresh out of the oven. Last night he made curry over noodles. Usually when he makes curry, he makes it with rice and naan bread, but he made it over noodles this time. It was really good. And a couple of nights ago, he made this cheesy tortellini soup. Let me tell you, it was the most amazing soup that I've ever had. This kid is phenomenal. He's such a good cook. Everybody's adjusted to basically everybody being in the house together again. Last night, the kids were all having a dance party. And of course I joined in, but it was so sweet. Having all my kids under one roof again is kind of incredible. My oldest, Dylan, never wanted to move back home. It was circumstances that kind of pushed him into it. And I guess I can say a little bit about it now because by the time this comes out, it'll be a few months and we're already a little ways away from it. But basically, he couldn't stay where he was staying anymore because somebody tried to murder him. And I can't get into any more details than that right now. But it was freaking terrifying and he just barely escaped. And he came home. So now, Robbie came home, and then a week later, Dylan came home, and now all my kids are under one roof again. The one thing that's missing is always going to be Teal'c. His birthday's coming up, September 16th. He would have been 17. This will be the second birthday since he passed. I miss him so much, every single day. This week has been kind of up and down. I had a lot of good things happen with the kids here and everything, but also the closer we get to Teal'c's birthday, the more emotional I've been. I'm lacking motivation. I'm really hoping that doing my makeup today will get me motivated to get moving for the day because I do have to work later. I've got a lot of stuff I got to get done. I've been getting stuff done. I'm kind of, on the one hand, really, really happy because I have all my kids in one place. On the other hand, really struggling. Yeah. I kind of, I want to go back through my videos and repost the videos about Teal'c and the first year after he passed and stuff, but at the same time, that's like a huge undertaking and really emotional. So I don't know if I'm going to. I do feel bad that those videos are gone off of my channel now, because that was meant to be like a tribute to him. Well, one thing that makes me sad is there was other family members, not my kids, but extended family, that did have cute little videos of Teal'c on their own YouTube channels. And up until last week, those videos were still visible. And I went to watch them again, and they had privated those videos. And that really made me sad. I don't want to do my makeup today. Because my hair isn't on the green spectrum right now, I haven't been using the same colors that I normally use. So, been trying to change it up a little bit. What do I do with my good brush? These brushes I use, I got them from Moda Brushes. I really like them. I got them on Black Friday sale last year. And I found out of all of the black eyeshadows that I have, this one from ColourPop is my favorite. It's black, but it's also sparkly. Most of us have the day off of work for Teal'c's birthday. Dylan can't get the day off of work because he works in a school, and it's a lot harder. He's like the head guy in the kitchen. So getting a day off is really difficult for him. So he's not going to be home most of that day. In fact, he's really only here late at night because he's working 2 jobs. They don't pay well enough at the school or at Culver's. Like, okay, here's a nonsense situation. You know how, like, people are always complaining, oh, nobody wants to work these days, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so here's the situation. I was approached by our county because they know that I do snow removal for some people, and so I was approached by the county and asked if I would be willing to do snow removal paid through a company that the county goes through, because they don't have anybody for the area to do snow removal for elderly and disabled. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, let's talk about this. And I said, you know, I do have 2 jobs currently, and I got a bunch of kids, so I don't have a ton of time. So, you know, I'm only going to commit to this if it's going to be worth it financially, because, you know, they also said that I would have to use my own equipment, and all of that, and that gets, you know, that gets expensive. I do have a snowblower, but that, you know, you have to pay for gas for that, and I have to figure out how to get it to various driveways and stuff throughout the city. It's a small city, but it's still, you know, you don't want to be pushing that thing 5 miles across town, right? So I have to figure that out. So, you know, I want to be compensated pretty well. So anyway, so the first offer they gave me was, they said that they would pay me $90 per hour. I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome, right? Well, then they're like, oh, wait, back up. We didn't mean $90 an hour. We meant $90 per snow removal. Okay, well, that's less exciting, but I guess I can work with that. Okay, you know, because sometimes it's gonna snow and I'm gonna be in somebody's driveway for several hours, and other times it's gonna be like a half an hour, right? Okay, so $90 per time. I can work with that. But then, so I sign a contract with this company, and then the company says, well, before we actually like can fully, set this up, we also have to talk to the county and make sure that they approve the pay rate. Okay, whatever. So the county then says, absolutely not. We won't pay that much. And it's like, what? So then the company's confused too, because they work with several counties, and in all the other counties they work with, the going rate is $90, sometimes a little more, right? What they actually bill the county is more because they need their own overhead for paperwork, payroll, that sort of thing. So the county says, okay, the most we'll pay is $40. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm still taking home $40. That's not as nice, but these are, elderly people. Some of them are going to be my neighbors, people I've known for a long time. I can do it. Robbie and I together, we can do it because he also signed up for this. And we'll figure it out. It's just going to mean, it's just going to be a little harder at that rate. Okay? So then the company gets back to me and says, well, actually, the county said $40, but $40 isn't $40. $40 means you only take home $25, plus taxes come out of that. So you're actually only getting like between $15 and $20 per driveway. And I'm like, excuse me, what? That's not even enough money to buy a snow shovel if my shovel breaks. I'm doing the majority of the work by hand. I do have a snowblower, but if Robbie and I are both doing the work, only one of us is going to be able to use the snowblower at a time. The majority of the driveways that I would be doing are not accessible to a plow. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys are wanting me to spend how much time and energy and my own resources to come back with less than $20 per driveway? I don't think so. I don't have time for that. That's nonsense. So then I go back to the county and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I said, at minimum, I need to be at least bringing home $40 to $50 per driveway to make this even worth my time. Like, I can't believe this right now. This is ridiculous. So I'm still in negotiations. The lady from the county said that she's going to try to get the county to approve whatever the overhead for the other company is, so that way I can actually take home at least $40. But I'm like, geez. Like, okay, I have definitely done snow removal for free for my elderly neighbors. And that's different because they're paying me out of pocket. And if they can't afford it, I don't charge them anything. But if I'm being paid through the government, through any sort of agency, I expect to get paid. My elderly neighbors that I've done their driveway for really cheap or for free, it's kind of like, I've always been like, pay me what you can afford. So sometimes I get paid, sometimes I don't. One lady pays me every single time. She pays quite well. Another lady can't always afford it. So, that's a thing I do because these are my neighbors and I care about them, right? But if I'm getting paid through an agency and I'm paying taxes on that money, I absolutely expect to get a decent rate. And then it's like, the government and like boomers and stuff, And no offense against anybody that's boomer age that like this doesn't apply to, because when I say boomers, I mean the boomers that are like, oh, younger people are selfish and whatever, and they don't actually pay attention to what the economy really is. Anyway, because I know people like that. But the boomers as a generation, that's not what I mean. Anyway, they're like, oh, nobody wants to work anymore. No, nobody wants to work for slave wages. Okay? Our time is valuable. I'm not going to be slaving away for less than I can make at McDonald's. Especially when something's so physically demanding as snow removal. Like, come on. It's insulting. Hopefully, like, when I agreed to it at first, I was like thinking that was going to be kind of cool, because some of my elderly neighbors that do pay me to remove snow could have benefited from this program, because then they wouldn't be having to pay out of pocket. Unfortunately, because of the financial situation of some of my neighbors, I might have to agree to these terms or just keep doing it for free. Honestly, I'm of the mind where I might just do it for free, so I don't have to deal with somebody like telling me what to do for that little amount of money. Because it does put several people in between me and the person I'm actually trying to help. So it's like, if I'm only going to take home less than $20 a driveway, it feels like there's no point in even going with that agency and just continuing to do what I've done for years. You know? Because at least then I'm not on some sort of time crunch. I can get it done in between my other things. Most of my jobs are helping people. That's just what I do. You know, I do housekeeping for an elderly neighbor who's in her 90s. I'm a caregiver. One of my jobs is taking care of a disabled veteran. Another one is taking care of a woman with disabilities. I try to help out around my neighborhood as much as I can. So, I mean, like, the idea of like getting paid to do some of the things I'm already doing is kind of exciting, but at the same time, the way that they're like, oh no, we're only going to give you pennies, basically, that's insulting. That's really insulting. Not just to me, but also to the people that are trying to sign up for this service, because it's like the government is literally saying, you know, helping you isn't worth pennies. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm definitely feeling more ready to start the day with my makeup on and my hair done. So, you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Oh, and if something changes with that snow removal thing, I'll mention it. You know, because like I said, I'm still in negotiations on it. It's just like, whatever. See you later.